We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and talk about a musical artist. This week's musical artist is Black Sabbath because, of course, it is Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath Sunday. We're talking Headless Cross. We're talking, what is this, Tony Martin's second album?
Correct, yes.
All right, I'm getting it down. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
No, praise Iomi.
Bill, who is the benevolent bunny for some reason.
Hail Sabbath. I didn't change it. God damn it. Why didn't you tell me?
I forgot all about it till I just looked down at you. And
Hold on.
Trey.
I've actually heard this album.
And Trey, if you
go.
remember back when we did The Eternal Idol, he didn't have a clue. Well, we're recording the Deftones right now on our normal channel, and Trey's a Patreon member. He chose the Deftones, so he came on the show, talked about them with us, and he's hanging out, and we record these Sabbath records when we fit them in. So he's been here, but hey, he did his homework this time, and unlike Bill, who did not do his homework, and he actually listened to Headless Cross. So have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
Cross? Oh, no.
Well, yeah, okay, so you did the main assignment, but you didn't do any extra credit. So we're talking Headless Cross. Let's fucking go. Tim,
Sure.
let us know what's going on.
So, yeah, Tony Martin comes back. Obviously, Tony Iommi's there. But everything else is different again, of course. Well, Jeff Nichols is still around. Jeff Nichols is still here. But everything else has changed. So this is 1989. The previous album, Eternal Idol, did so poorly that after almost 20 years, Warner Brothers dropped Black Sabbath. So we got a new record label here. Miles Copeland, brother of Stuart Copeland, started a record label called IRS. They pick up Black Sabbath. So kind of a new lease on life here. Eric Singer has left the drum seat. He's gone off to join Alice Cooper's band. And in his place is a legend named Cozy Powell. We talk a lot about Deep Purple in this discography. We mentioned Rainbow a couple times, going over some of the Dio albums. Cozy Powell was in Rainbow with Dio, and highly recommend Rainbow Rising. That album is incredible. But yeah, so Cozy Powell's here. And then on bass, we have a studio musician called Lawrence Cottle. This is his only appearance on a Sabbath album. The album starts off with Gates of Hell, which is just a keyboard intro that leads us into the title track and first single, Headless Cross. And right off the bat, you start with a Cozy Powell drum beat. The song itself is a tasty headbanger. It's got a cool chorus. The riff is pretty good. But right off the bat, I could tell that Cozy Powell and Tony Iommi are working really well together. They all are also the credited producers for this album. Yeah, I like Headless Cross. That's, it's just a tasty song for 1989. Like, obviously, we're still kind of dealing with the glam stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, again, better than 98% of the glam stuff that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Third track, Devil and Daughter. I think this song rips. The guitar solo is incredible. I love the energy. I love the ride cymbal. I love the almost half shuffle. I love the vocal melodies. Top song contender. I think Devil and Daughter is great. And that leads us to When Death Calls. I don't know if anybody caught that, but Brian May is playing the first guitar solo from Queen. So yeah, you got a member of Queen on a Black Sabbath album. The song itself, though, it's pretty good when the band kicks in, like during the choruses, but the verses are a little weak. Um, but then once the tempo kind of picks up a little bit, I think like the back half of that song rips. I think it's great. Kill in the Spirit World starts off side two, and it's got a nice bouncy like bass line to it, but the song's kind of clunky. I'm gonna probably call that my low point of the album. Call of the Wild, I think, is great. I think that the guitar work is really good. Again, going back to the relationship between Iommi and Cozy, like they're really writing really interesting arrangements here. And I think Tony Martin sounds great on this song. I really like the giant chorus. And again, kind of comparing it to the glam metal of the time. Like this has all the trappings of a late 80s power ballad, but when you actually start getting into it, it's kind of a weird song and doesn't fit that formula. And I appreciate that. I think Call of the Wild's great. Black Moon was actually a leftover from the Eternal Idol. A version of it appeared on the B side to The Shining. There's not much of it. There is not much of a difference between this version and that version. Even the drum parts are kind of the same, if not the performer. Personally, Black Moon might be my favorite song on the album. I think it's incredible. Just the way it comes in, nice and silky, and then just doesn't let up. It's got a big chorus. I think it's great. And then the album closer, Nightwing. It's a good closer. I don't think there's anything special about that song, though. And then the bonus track, which is now widely available now that the IRS albums have been reissued in 2024. Cloak and Dagger. It's a bluesy track. It's decent. I could see why it was left off the album proper, though. Yeah, for 1989 Sabbath. And, I think Tony Martin, throughout his tenure in this band, is proficient and efficient. Like, I think he does everything that's asked of him. And I think he does it well. But I unfortunately think that they're still just a couple years behind. It sounds like they're trying to catch up to 1987 here. And, the music world is changing in 89. Unbeknownst to, Sabbath, of course. But we're going to see their influence come around yet another time. And yeah, the 90s are going to be interesting for Sabbath.
I'm curious. I'm curious when what you just said, like when it comes back around.
I really want to know what Dehumanizer sounds like. Actually,
I do
after
too.
Hearing this one,
I do too.
Well, you're gonna hate it, but
I'm gonna follow. No, well, hold up, because let me follow up, Tim.
Okay.
The Gates of Hell. It's a spooky intro instrumental. That's all right. That's all right. I'll give them Gates of Hell.
That's on brand. It's on brand.
It's on brand. Headless Cross. Def Leppard's Rock of Ages popped in my head within the first 10 seconds of those drums. But it was Animal that I was reminded of as the song played on. The only thing that separates this from the 80s cock rock hair metal is the lyrical content. Even Tony's riff was pretty dull here. Like, this is... And I want... And I need... Like, it was pretty bad.
That's for Def Leppard, that's a decent song. So,
well, yeah, that's Hysteria, Def Leppard.
Yeah. which we are in the post of here. So
Yes, we are in the post of Def Leppard. We're also in the post of something else. Devil and Daughter. Now I get why you like Ghost. This is
sure.
They are pretty much 80s Sabbath. Like, again, it's a pretty boring riff though for Tony. It's not his best work here. The solo was great though. I do like the solo. When Death Calls, I like the first half. It sounded like what Sabbath would sound like in 89. Like, this is what I would think they would sound like in 89. It does veer off a little in the back half, but it's still pretty decent. Killing the Spirit World, pretty good tempo changes. The chorus is really good, but those verses, man, Sabbath are living on a prayer at this point. Did Black Sabbath?
We're halfway there.
Did Black Sabbath create Bon Sabbath, or is it Black Jovi? Did they create
It's
that
Black
one?
Jovi.
I don't know. Call of the Wild. It just kind of happened for me. It felt like filler. The only time it got my attention was the guitar solo. Black Moon was pretty decent. It was like spooky bar blues. The chorus was catchy. The second best song on the album. The drums really took a hit though with this album, this band, compared to previous albums. You got no Bill. You got no Geezer. You got no Ozzy. Nightwing, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was pretty dull, mid-tempo closing track. Like, it was, it was like the DC. But I did do my homework and I listened to Cloak and Dagger. Because I'm thinking Marvel Rivals, Cloak and Dagger. Shout out Vegas. What up? Woo! This was after Cinderella, right?
Right at the same time. Yeah.
I'm just checking. I mean, 89, I'm just checking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Cloak and Dagger might
That was,
be...
that whole blues revival really did rear its ugly head in the glam scene there in 89, 90. So,
yeah. Sadly, I think Cloak and Dagger might be my top three. It's in my top three of this album. I'm not going to say anything else until we rank them, though.
Okay.
I mean, I can follow up here. I listen to Cloak and Dagger as well. I'll start from the back here and work my way forward.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
I really like that bonus track, actually.
I did too.
It wasn't
in the context of those 9 songs.
Crazy. No, not. Thinking about that one in context of what else was coming out in '89, I feel like that was a great song. Definitely more like, I see what you're saying, like sort of like ballady with that one.
Well, no, it's not really ballady. It's more like bar blues.
It's just bar bluesy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like,
I mean, it had a groove. It had a groove.
I think it's better than the other bar blues coming out right now in '89.
Better than
Cinderella. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than, like, oh god, what were some good ones?
Aerosmith was coming stuff out.
Yeah,
Aerosmith was on fucking Pump at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, Pump is a better album than this.
Yeah, agree to disagree, but that's okay.
Yeah, Tiny Tim showing his face.
That's not. Anyways, I will say I think Nightwing is a solid closing track.
Oh God, no!
I said it.
Sure, why not?
You heard it.
Sure, why not?
It's not. I mean, it's not like a original album style closing track.
Yeah.
Up there with those.
Is it better than Technical Ecstasy's closing track?
No.
Which you can't even remember. Oh, that was
Better
Dirty
than
Witness.
Eternal Idol's closing track? Seven stars? Mob rules?
Yes. Yes on 7 stars and mob rules.
Oh, no.
That's fine.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, this one. I mean, especially Headless Cross and Devil and Daughter. Both of those really made me realize, hey, Black Sabbath is kind of starting to chase a little bit, as Tim alluded to.
They've been chasing for a while.
You know, I wouldn't say for a while.
They've been chasing for a while. For an entire decade, I'd say.
Not for a decade.
Yeah,
I would say
for 5 years, though, at least, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, like, how it feels like for Headless Cross and Devil and Daughter, it's interesting. Rather than chasing like Ozzy, for those that felt like they were chasing Dio.
No, well,
that's what it felt like for me.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, I think technically Tony Martin's voice is closer to Dio's than Ozzy's.
But like even stylistically.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony.
But see, musically they are like pretty similar to like what Ozzy's doing at this time.
Well, that's because Ozzy's ripping them off, right?
I think it's more
Ozzy's
just
ripping off
just
what
the
they were doing in the 70s.
They're all ripping off fucking Def Leppard at this point. At this point, they're ripping off Def Leppard.
I would say Ozzy's ripping off of what they were doing in the 70s. Maybe some influences from Def Leppard or Cinderella or some of the...
Oh, yeah, because at this point, Ozzy's doing, what, No Rest for the Wicked? He's got Crazy Babies out there.
Yes.
It's like easily one of Ozzy's worst songs.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, everything between Bark at the Moon and Osmosis for Ozzy... Well, no, I'm sorry. No More Tears in there. Everything between Bark at the Moon and No More Tears is, for me, is kind of Leave It Ozzy.
Sure. And that's immediately where we're at right here.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, it's... You know, it's weird thinking about from, like, a band that started the genre. That, you know, initiated all these movements.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Martin has done, in my opinion, a phenomenal job. Arguably the best besides Dio and Ozzy at filling that vocal role for Black Sabbath. That being said, he's trying harder on this one to sound like Dio than he did the last one on Eternal Idol. He's not sounding as authentic, might be the right word. It could be the incorrect word to use here. But, like, it's not as effective singing. Iommi's he's not bored, but he's not creative on his guitar as he usually is.
Agreed. This is a
like
very
he's still doing good stuff.
Record.
He's still Tony Iommi. Don't get me wrong. But he's not doing like anything groundbreaking with his guitar work. I mean, you still have his solos, which, yeah, he's shredding a guitar for 45 seconds. You know, better than anyone else, even in 1989. But he's not.
Heard Ride the Lightning.
It's still Iommi. Like,
I don't care. I don't care who your name is.
Go back to listen to Nightwing, how Tony Iommi sounded out.
It does not sound shit. It ain't got shit on Master of Puppets.
That was in 85.
Oh, 85. Okay. We're at 89 right now. That's my point.
But no, go listen to Tony Iommi in 85. Like,
fucking Appetite of Destruction's coming out here. Real fucking soon. Like, I mean, come on.
It came out in 87. Came out in 87.
What are we doing here? What are we doing? This is
I don't
Tony.
know. What are we
this
doing?
is Tony fucking. This is like you live long
can't
enough
tell
to
me
see
Tony's
your
sucking.
fucking.
Do not tell me Tony's sucking on this album.
He
not.
sucks on this record, dude. He sucks.
Bullshit.
Besides his guitar solos, he fucking sucks. And even some of the solos kind of suck.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Show me a better Black Sabbath record with better fucking solos than this album. Or
Show you a better one?
Show me one that's worse than this record.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
I mean, Seventh Son, I feel like.
I can't wait to get to the future records because this is shit, dude. This is fucking shit. Even for Tony, this is shit.
I don't think it's shit. I mean, I'm not saying it's not fucking NID or any other shit like that.
That's what I'm basing it on. I'm in the Black Sabbath.
Yeah, but I'm comparing it. You can compare it to the other Black Sabbath.
Fuck, you compare it to fucking 1989. There's fucking better shit out there than what Tony's doing right now.
Well, yeah, like what came out in '89 that is better than what
Let's talk
Tony's
about what came
doing?
out before '89.
Yeah, fucking Black Sabbath self-titled.
No, take Black Sabbath's catalog out of the picture and tell me what came out before '89 that's better than this shit. Fucking Bon Jovi's goddamn Slippery When Wet has better shit than this shit. This is trash, dude. This is fucking trash.
I'm disagreeing on that.
In this discography, this is fucking trash.
I like Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet.
There's better fucking guitar shit in than that album than this. Fucking Def Leppard has better guitar work than this.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I really don't think so.
Well, let's rank this motherfucker then.
Well, no. What Trey has to say.
Yeah,
about
what's Trey? What's Trey? Trey, tell us about Headless Cross.
So I put this on. The Gates of Hell happened. It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Headless Cross. I liked it until I had to check to see if a new song started because it felt long. And then I immediately felt stupid because as soon as I checked to see if another song started, he said Headless Corpse or Cross like 1,000 times. I don't have a lot to say until Killing in the Spirit World, which I think really is indicative of this entire, honestly, the metal scene at this time. I don't think anyone really knew what was coming with grunge and the 90s.
Sure.
And Killing in the Spirit World is just all over the place. I heard hints of Europe, the final countdown. I heard hints of the I can't remember the name of it, but that song that was like the big song from An American Tale. Like
somewhere out there?
Yes, somewhere out there. Like I heard so much 80s in this.
Of course Bill would know that shit.
Like I love American Tale, but that's beside the point.
I heard so much 80s in this one song. And it was coming from like 9 different places. And I really feel like that's what this album was. Like, I don't have the benefit of listening to all the albums leading up to this. But I feel like at this point, from coming into it at this moment, it feels like Black Sabbath is chasing their own tail. They're trying to remain relevant in a genre that is no longer relevant at this point. I will say I liked Cloak and Dagger, but that's partly because I'm wondering how inspired it was by the comic books.
I don't think
because
it was
we know.
at all.
I mean, it's lyrically it fits their origin. I'm a comic nerd, so and I know metal has a big comic thing. I always think of Suicide's Ghost Rider song. So that was the highlight for me, was the bonus track. Everything else just kind of felt like a band that has no clue what's coming and is still just trying to remain relevant.
To me, it feels like a band that doesn't know what's coming, but it also doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like they created a genre that outpaced them.
Yeah, they're
in the
like
last
5
10
years. They're like 5 years behind at this point, is how I felt.
I mean, I'm not a metal expert, but like, I mean, come on, 1989. There's better metal than this.
But, you're talking about older guys keeping pace with Metallica and Anthrax and bands like that are in their teens and 20s.
That
I
grew up
mean,
listening, if they fucking got influenced by Black Sabbath
yeah,
and did some shit.
yeah.
Wow, I mean, you would think. I don't think they haven't like reminded the people that like, hey, we're Black Sabbath and we're taking the throne back over. Like,
Well, they
this
can
is what
do
we
that
do.
just by playing Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like when
Well,
they go on
yeah.
tour, they're not playing these songs. You know.
And it really is kind of at this point where the talks of, hey, when are you guys going to get Ozzy back, really start.
I mean, even at this point, like, I don't know. We'll get to the rankings.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
Let's fucking get to the rankings. Let's get to the rankings.
Yeah. No, and I think one of the things that this album suffers from is that everybody here is correct. It's all those things and more.
All right. Well, who has the dot? Tim's got the dot.
Oh, I've got the dot. Well, Jason, are you going to say it's better than Heaven and Hell just because?
I'm gonna read
Whatever
my.
God forsaken regular.
I'm gonna read my final notes here. Well, folks, I think we found an album worse than Heaven and Hell. If we give credit for how early a band does something, we should keep that same energy for how late they are.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
It's going to go number 14 for me.
Okay.
I actually think Heaven and Hell is better than this.
Oh, goddamn time.
I mean, it ain't my number one fucking Sabbath record or anything. I'm not stupid.
I don't think it's stupid doing that. That's okay.
Well, we're all entitled to our opinions.
Yes, we are.
Where's Bill gonna put this? He don't like Purple Sabbath.
Right. I'm looking at like in the 8 to 10 range. Trying to figure out where he's putting it there.
You know, that's gonna be a little too high for me, honestly.
Okay, so not better than Mob Rules?
It is better than Mob Rules.
Okay, so number 12.
I'm gonna put it above 7th Star. Actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. But not Technical Ecstasy?
No.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'm going to be the one with the hot take here. I've got it above Technical Ecstasy, but below the Eternal Idol. So my question is, do I like this more than Born Again or not?
Wait. Yeah, you're right here.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those spots. And you know what? Today, I'm feeling like I like Born Again more. So let's put this at number 10.
Thank God. It's definitely better than Born Again.
It's definitely better or worse than Born Again?
Yeah, because you got it
Oh yeah, no, it's not better than Born Again. No, that's what I said. It's
Jason
not.
alone,
It's
he's drunk.
well, no, yeah. I just fucked that up. It's definitely not better than Born Again. 100%.
I mean, agree to disagree.
I do like Headless Cross, though. I think it's
I never want to.
It's on the
I'd
better
rather
side of
listen
the
to
tongue
Heaven
now.
and Hell than that shit ever again.
I thought it was okay as long as you don't look at when it came out.
That's my issue. It's 1989 and you're coming out with this shit? Come on. Come the fuck on, dude.
Well, and I hear you, because for 1989 it does suck, but I think it's aged fairly well. Thank you to the chat for joining us.
Stick around for chat. Who's still in the chat? Bill, you ain't been doing your job. What's chat been saying?
What do you mean? Oh my gosh. It's been Sam and Herpes kind of talking.
Well, you should be letting us know that shit, man.
No, I did. Herpes commented about St. Vitus, sacrilege, and candle mass. And Sam commented about Beastie Boys and The Cure.
That's the last
I've
thing
done
they
my
said?
job.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Chat, you slacking, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, we
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
especially given the spur of the moment.
Yeah, because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. But stick around, because we're actually going to try and live stream. We're going to talk Operation Ivy. We're going to do a one-shot on them. We're going to do a album wars, Blizzard of Oz versus Heaven and Hell. That'll be fun. And we're going to talk Record Store Day 2025. We'll talk about all that. And we're also going to Bloody Sabbath Sunday. We're going to talk about TYR. How do you say that? Tier?
Oh, Herpes wants me to point out, and yes, Herpes, he did comment more. I didn't say it. He also mentioned that Running Wild, Death or Glory was also in 89, and saying that was all over this album.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that, so that's something that Tim would be.
I'm taking Headless Crossover Running Wild, personally, but
Herp Alert, no, he knows some weird shit, man. He's always like, he knows what's up.
Right, he's speaking my language.
All right, well, we're going to be talking about Black Sabbath, TYR.
Tier?
Tier? Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.